When it comes to adult beverages, consumer tastes are continuously changing. Virginians in their 20s and 30s are looking for alternatives to traditional beers, and that has led to the rise of the craft beer industry over the past decade. Now, a portion of consumers in the craft beverage market like an alternative drink to enjoy on a brisk fall day. A decade ago, there were only 7 cideries in the state. Now there are 3 times as many. The interest in alternative beverages is a big factor for that growth, but there's also the fact that some cider fans enjoy it all year round. Old Hill Cider has been creating apple cider since the 1960s, and 9 years ago they began adding alcohol to some of their blends.
We have the apples, we had our press. Since we have that, then why not try hard cider? They decided to add the hard cidery for self-sustainability, so now we can sell hard cider all year long. Of course we make it in the fall, but the tasting room's open all year.
Old Hill Cider is part of Showalter's Orchard in Rockingham County. The 40-acre property produces more than 25 varieties of apples. Most of the apples used in the cidery are grown on site, and the soil in the region creates a special kind of apple.
There's thousands of types of apples, but the specific ones we grow here or some of them are for hard cider making, so that means that the tannins, the acidity, things like that are really important to making ciders.
The site also features a covered meeting space and spectacular views of the Shenandoah Valley. They try to keep a steady income stream year-round.
We are known in the spring for annuals, perennials, bedding plants, starter vegetables. We have a ton of things going on. Around here, the biggest thing is our new event space. It's an agritourism destination. We do pick your own apples. It's very family friendly.
One way to find cideries in Virginia is to visit ciderguide.com. Farther north and east of Old Hill Cidery is Hinson Ford Cellars, which produces cider and mead on site in Rappahannock County. Dennis Kelly says many of his customers are looking for a new experience.
In particular, the dry style that we make, the majority of the ciders that are out on the market right now are a little bit lower in alcohol but have a lot more residual sugar, so they're almost like an alcoholic soda. And people are really relating to the dry style where you don't have the sweetness, but you have just the amazing apple flavors that come through.
People with specific dietary considerations can still enjoy cider without some of the side effects associated with beer and wine.
A number of people seek out cider because they are either gluten intolerant or celiac, so it has that advantage over beer. Cider is a little bit lighter, a little bit less alcoholic than wines are, so it's a lighter alternative to that. And I think there's just a general curiosity about it. It's not something that's well known in the United States.
But Kelly says Virginia's northern Piedmont region has a rich tradition in cider craft.
Back in the late 1800s, Rappahannock County was kind of the apple center of the United States. And for a number of reasons, the apple business in the United States kind of moved out to Washington State. There are still, the remaining orchards have some really nice varieties of apples for making cider. So part of what we're trying to do is encouraging those orchards to hang in there, you know. And one of the great trends that we've seen in the last few years in the United States is it has moved from bulldozing orchards to make cow pastures or condominiums or whatever to orchardists actually planting cider-specific variety of apples to serve the growing cider market. So we're really delighted about that.
Hinson Ford also makes meads, and Kelly says he's working to change the perception some may have of it as being a heavy, syrupy drink.
We talk about making lawnmower meads, you know, where you come in after mowing the lawn, you want something refreshing to get the dust out of your throat that's not going to paralyze you. Mead is something you have on Tuesday night with leftovers. It's not just for celebrating the melding of 2 warring clans.
Whether it's cider or mead, Virginia's robust agriculture products are encouraging both entrepreneurs and multi-generational farms to create new, innovative, and refreshing ways to quench your thirst. In Rockingham County, Virginia, I'm Burke Moeller reporting.